Not skinny? Well, fat chance you will ever get a break, especially if you're a Republican. A certain media icon named Chris, that's all I'm going to say, going after a certain New Jersey governor named Chris, as in Christie, that's what I will say. Not over things that matter, but something that should not. The governor's weight. At a Q&A held at the Ritz-Carlton in Washington recently, Media Chris says of Governor Chris that he, and I quote, should not wear white shirts. Goes on to say the gov must be 300 plus pounds, that it's something he's just got to deal with because, and I quote, you're not going to say I'm going to cut the budget. Well, how about starting with supper and other such cheap shots? Well, Media Chris, how about you starting with facts? Like the fact this so-called fat governor has cut the budget. I live in Jersey, so I should know. Balancing it his very first year, all by cutting out the fat you abhor without the tax increase you might favor. Look, Media Chris, just because you could dye your hair doesn't mean you could dye the truth. Because here's the skinny on this fat guy. He's eating his critics alive and putting his very fit and skinny predecessor, John Corzine, to shame. Because while Mr. Corzine might have cut a very fine form, he never cut spending and ballooned the state deficit while eating up every last taxpayer dollar. It is remarkable to me that those who delight in pointing out someone's girth as if it is some disqualifier for office say not a word about their party's own heavyweights and never even suggest their weight is a disqualifier for any office. No, Chris Christie's fat and Haley Barbour weighs too much. I say way too much. Would Media Chris have said the same of Winston Churchill? Would he be so focused on the guy's gut to miss the guy's guts? So concerned Winston wasn't GQ that he'd miss Winston's weighty IQ? No, not a clue. All I know is a lot of thin, fit guys in both parties, got us in some pretty big messes. We could do a hell of a lot worse than entertain not so thin and fit guys to get us out of those messes. Because for those who love to quote a visionary who asks we judge men not by the color of their skin but the content of their character, it seems weird that they still judge the weight of that skin before they even get to their character, which makes them characters, and pathetic ones at that. Judging our leaders not by the qualities that matter, but the nonsense like this that does not. Where greatness is defined not by who you are, but how you look. You know what that is? That is racism with a scale. That might give some a tingly feeling up their leg. I just prefer they first look in the mirror themselves and stick their condescending comments up there, you know what. But again, that is just me, isn't it? Just me. Slightly overweight, very pissed.
The feeling most people get when they hear a Barack Obama speech, I felt this thrill going up my leg. I mean, I don't have that too often.
Steady.
No, seriously.